City Limits, the show that provides you with information about the people, places, and events that shape the character of our community. Tonight, we have a very special program, a group from Samara, Russia, that is here in St. Louis visiting. And I'll start with Dmitry Karbargin, and he's president of the St. Louis Samara Sister City program. And in a minute, we'll pick up and talk to Alex. So, welcome to City Limits.
Thank you.
What are you actually doing here in St. Louis?
So, St. Louis-Samara Sister City Committee is a non-for-profit organization. We've been around for more than 20 years. It started with just some Americans who were interested in Russian culture, so they had a trip to Russia. They got excited and started exchanges. There have been a number of different exchanges, started from municipal and medical, and this is the first year when we expanded to cultural exchange. We were able to send piano students from AMSL to Russia, to Samara, and they performed very nice concerts over there. They became local stars, very popular, and it started the whole cultural exchange thing. So AMSL was very generous, and they helped us to organize the trip, and we got so excited, so we brought a group from Samara to perform a concert over here, and the concert was yesterday. We called it Russian Seasons in St. Louis. It was a very nice performance, a lot of interaction, and we had a full audience.
That's great. That's a good thing to have an audience, and
yes.
You know, people are really interested in seeing things from different cultures and different areas of the world that you don't normally get to see anything.
Exactly, and one of our purposes is to break stereotypes. That unfortunately, politicians and the media are always trying to set the barriers and show some nations and create conflicts. And ordinary people, they normally have nothing to fight about. They're very friendly and open, and they just enjoyed the friendship.
Sounds great. And I'm sure you've enjoyed your trip to St. Louis?
Well,
you actually live here, but I'm sure the group
now,
has.
But yes,
I'm sure
I hope they do.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk to Alex.
Sure.
Would you introduce him?
Alexei Prakayev. He was the one who helped us to host AMSL students in Russia. He did all the logistics, all the organizational stuff. He is a professor in Moscow University of Plekhanov. He's a producer of Central Madeleine, and he's a journalist. He does everything.
So he does everything.
Thank you so much, Dmitry.
Right up our alley, kind of journalism and news and so on. How long have you been a journalist?
Я уже более 10 лет являюсь журналистом, член Союза журналистов России, и был главным редактором журнала «Международное образование и языки», федеральный журнал в России.
It's been 10 years since he's been a journalist, and he was a chief editor at the journal Optima Study. It's a language and studies journal.
Okay, okay.
He's been a chief editor.
But what is the topic again?
A journal
of.
Well, they do languages and studies abroad.
Oh, okay, languages and so on. Okay, that's the part I was missing.
International education.
International education.
Okay, mass communication. Yeah,
International.
International. Okay, very good. Yeah,
Поэтому международные проекты, они являются приоритетными, даже вот по линии журналистики, не только по линии журналистики, а в целом как бы международная составляющая – это окно, ворота в мир, и она очень важная.
And that's why the international projects are very important, and that they open the window to the world, and world of opportunities.
That's great. How does the mass communication or the communication industry in the United States compared to other countries?
Как отличается средства массовой информации в Америке от средств массовой информации в других странах?
Ну, к сожалению, российские средства массовой информации, они находятся под влиянием государства, и очень сложно говорить о полной свободе слова в прессе. А американские СМИ, я думаю...
Unfortunately, Russian media have a lot of control from the government, and it's hard to tell about the freedom of speech over there.
Американские СМИ отличаются своей демократией и свободой слова, и здесь можно писать и говорить обо всем.
And American media can talk about anything, and that freedom of speech is very valuable and used very well over here.
What about social media? Do you have a lot of social media now influencing
In Russia?
news and so on?
Как насчет социальных источников средств массовой информации, как Facebook, Одноклассники в России? Сейчас много...
Они очень, социальные сети и средства массовой информации очень популярны, и это единственный, на мой взгляд, на сегодняшний момент такой глоток свободы и волеизъявления, то есть свободы в широком смысле понимания, то есть коммуникация с миром, окно в мир.
They're becoming very popular in Russia. It's one of the resources where you can get the real picture of what's going on. Because there's no influence there.
Yeah, it's kind of that way here too. The social media is ahead of the newspapers and everything else
Здесь то
now.
же самое, они опережают настоящие средства массовой информации.
Именно социальные СМИ сегодня делают революции.
Social media, they're doing a media revolution today.
That's true. Thank you very much. See, I appreciate the interview.
Спасибо.
Back. Joining me now is Olga. Hey, Olga.
Yeah.
Welcome to City Limits. What do you do in Samara?
Чем занимаетесь в Самаре?
Я директор студии творческой мастерской. И мастерская моя занимается как раз-таки это и артисты, это и производство фильмов, это и как раз-таки тема Америка, которая уже 5 лет у нас идет таким, скажем так, очень сильное направление. Вот. И да.
I'm a journalist and I have my own agency. I work very closely with artists and we do our own shows and movies. That's it.
Являюсь членом Союза журналистов России, поэтому все, что касается развития, скажем так, международных отношений, развития международных связей, все очень интересно, поэтому и пришли, наверное, к этой теме. Тем более я всегда об этом говорю, что каждую страну представляют прежде всего артисты, художники, спортсмены. Мы прежде всего говорим о творчестве вне политики.
I'm one of the members of the journalists, and we like the topic of international cooperations because it's very important. It opens a lot of opportunities and it shows people the reality without politics.
The one thing I did forget, would you introduce Olga? I forgot to do that when we started.
Sure. Olga is a journalist and...
No, what's her last name? So that's what I missed.
Olga Vinogradova.
Okay, fine, Olga. I'm sorry, I missed that when we first started there. Have you seen journalism change over the last few years?
Как вы думаете, журнализм изменился за последние годы в России?
Вы знаете, изменился. Он менялся, скажем так, конечно, время, оно влияет, и он сильно менялся. Было время, когда очень резко пошел взлет, очень много стало новых передач, очень много стало новых изданий, очень много стало новых журналов. Это был как такой глоток, потому что всем хотелось заниматься этим.
Какие это годы?
Это, наверное, скажем так, в 90-е, и когда стали появляться кабельное телевидение, то, что у нас же был один канал, 2 канала, стало появляться кабельное телевидение, стали появляться частные какие-то газеты, стали появляться глянцевые журналы свои. Да? То, что, скажем так, если раньше это было Космополитен, Мэри Клэр, то что-то как раз-таки, что привозили откуда-то, то сейчас это свое, скажем так, и в каждом городе свои издания, и в каждом, скажем так, населенном пункте, как, не знаю, как поселок, как село, и то уже существуют мини-студии, да, на сегодняшний день.
Since late 90s, there are a lot of channels. We used to have 1 or 2 channels in Russia, and since late 90s, when Soviet Union collapsed, there are a lot of channels, independent channels that became available, and almost every city now has their own channel, and even some villages too.
То есть популярное направление, если раньше все-таки даже не было, скажем так, такого направления журналистики, не было, оно было гуманитарное образование позволяло стать журналистом, то сейчас это направление отдельное, многослойное, то есть очень популярное, скажем так, потому что журналист — это вот и приравнивается, почему я говорю, артисты, спортсмены, художники, те, кто немножко больше допущен, да, вот каким-то к международным, каким-то обменам, к фестивалям. И журналист — это тот же человек, который может видеть мир, может видеть какие-то разные события, и это популярно.
Journalist profession became very popular lately, especially because you can see more. You can see the world. You have an access to the festivals. You can see what's happening around you, and just open horizons.
Mhm. Has social media affected the television as much as it's affected newspapers in Russia?
Социальные каналы, как Facebook и Одноклассники, они влияют и на телевизионные каналы, и на газеты одинаково, или как-то по-другому?
Вы знаете, не думаю, есть разные также, есть консервативные каналы, которые, есть своя направленность, и то есть что-то, они разные, и они должны именно вот все существовать. Не в противоборстве, а именно с разной подачей. И некоторые каналы не замечают, некоторые каналы интерактивны, то есть там идет именно строка и то, что выкладывают именно в интернете. Они разные. И вот пусть они будут этим разными.
So, there are two opinions. Some people think that internet media are going ahead of the other medias, like newspapers and TV, and I not agree with that. I think that they should have their own. Each media should have the right to say, and you can get more opinions and a more objective idea of what's going on when you compare all the resources. When you compare the internet and TV and newspaper.
Yeah, the unfortunate part, they're almost always different. That's the unfortunate part.
Обычно они совсем разные.
Да, так и есть. Так и есть.
Thank you very much, Olga, for the interview.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Joining me now is Vladimir. Hi. Good evening. Welcome to City Limits. Okay,
Добро
what?
пожаловать на наш
Спасибо вам большое, спасибо.
Thank you.
Okay, what do you do in Samara?
Чем вы занимаетесь в Самаре?
Я учитель танцев.
I'm a teacher of dance.
Teacher of dance. Okay. Yeah, I heard. Well, we'll get into that in a few minutes but I heard someone in St. Louis here recently. You showed them how to dance.
Я слышал, и мы вернемся к этому топику через некоторое время, что вы кому-то в Сент-Луисе показали, как танцевать.
Да, была такая попытка, но мне очень понравилось. Я думаю, что и понравилось тем, кто вышел со мной это делать. Вот, и получился у нас такой сейшн. Добрый, хороший, красивый, я надеюсь.
Yes, we did try to teach people to dance, and it was very enjoyable, and I hope people liked it too.
Do a lot of people learn dancing in Samara? I mean, is there a lot of call for people to learn to dance?
Это популярно? Много людей хотят научиться танцевать в Самаре?
Смотря что, конечно. Есть какие-то современные направления, рэп, в данном случае, как бы.
It depends. There are different trends.
Да, сейчас
Some people want to learn how to dance rap, for example.
популярно, вот, допустим, у нас, да. А вот то, что я учу, это тэп-дэнс. Степ — это, как классический вид такой жанра.
But I'm teaching more classical type of dance. It's a step dance or tap dance.
Не так много желающих. Это избранный, я считаю, это избранный.
Unfortunately, there are not too many people who would like to learn, but I think it's a very important clientele who doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of an art that's past us nowadays. Years ago, everybody tap danced and stuff. Now you don't see it too much.
Это ушло, скорее всего, танец прошлого, и, к сожалению, ушел, наверное.
А все повторяется, и как это преподносить? То, что вот мы показываем с моим другом, партнером Сергеем, это нравится очень многим, и кто-то вообще впервые это видит, и я смотрю, как люди относятся, это им нравится.
It depends how you perform it. Some people really enjoy it. The way we do it, they like it.
Now you did a exhibition of tap dancing and so on at Two Hill last night at the...
Вы вчера выступали с концертом степ-дэнсов в Тухиле, в Амсле, правильно?
Yes.
And I understand that the county executive was there and you were teaching Mr. Dooley how to tap dance. Is that true?
Я удивился, как он вышел вообще. Он мог бы
Один
сидеть
телефон
и смотреть, да. Ну давай, а он вышел, говорит, давай, учи меня. Я был в восторге.
It was very surprising. He would just sit in the audience and then watch us dancing, but he came up to the stage and he asked to teach us how to dance, so we showed him.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Dooley, Charlie likes to do all kinds of different things. And he almost any place you go, whenever they have something, Charlie's there, which is a good thing for a county executive. But he did good, I understand.
Он любит всякие такие интересные вещи, и он всегда участвует во многих мероприятиях. У него получилось танцевать?
Он был самым главным. Он был заводилой. Фронтмен.
He was our main performer over there. Everybody was following him.
Very good.
Yeah.
What, how long does it take? Let's just say you're a beginner and you don't know anything about dancing. How long does it take to learn how to dance to be somewhat accomplished? Not real good, but somewhat accomplished.
Сколько времени занимает научиться степ-дэнсу, если вы хотите это с самого начала? Ну так, чтобы не профессионально, а просто хотя бы уметь как-то танцевать степ-дэнс.
Я занимаюсь этим лет 10 уже. Я считаю, я только начинаю понимать этот вид танцевания.
I'm doing it for 10 years and I think I'm a beginner.
I'm sure that's not true.
Учиться и учиться.
I'm sure that's not true. We are going to play a small segment in this show of tap dancing, so we will show an example of what you do in the
Мы
show.
покажем на телевидении часть вашего выступления вчерашнего и покажем, как вы танцевали.
Я надеюсь, что зрители отнесутся снисходительно, с любовью, ну как-то так, Дима, скажи.
I hope that people will like it. I hope they enjoy what they see.
И я еще хочу сказать, что я счастлив находиться на родине, где зародился этот вид танцевания. Тэп-дэнс, это же вот именно в Америке он зародился. И я надеюсь, что мне удастся сходить на какой-то мюзикл и посмотреть первоисточник, так сказать, вот, вживую увидеть, как это делается. Я сам учусь.
I'm very happy to be here because this is where the tap dance started in the United States. And I hope that I'll have an opportunity to see some musicals over here, how they do it here.
Sounds good. Well, welcome to St. Louis. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Joining me now is Sergey. How you doing, Sergey?
Как поживаете, Сергей?
Would you introduce him with his full name, please?
Сергей. He was one of our performers yesterday at the Two Hill concert, Russian Seasons in St. Louis. And the audience was very happy to see him. It was very exciting and joyful to see his performance.
Great. Well, you're the first person that brought a musical instrument to this show, and I've been doing the show for about 12 years now. So that's the first.
Я веду эту передачу уже 12 лет. Вы первый, кто зашел в студию с музыкальным инструментом.
How long have you played the musical instrument? And is that the only instrument you play?
Как долго вы играете на музыкальных инструментах? Единственный ли это инструмент, на котором вы играете?
Это не единственный инструмент, но это основной мой инструмент. Я играю больше 20 лет, практически с 4 лет, как родился.
I play instruments since I was 4. This is the major instrument that I'm using, but not the only one.
Very good. What do you play in a band or do you play solo most of the time?
Ты играешь как один, как соло или в какой-то группе музыкальной?
Мы с Владимиром выступаем в составе шоу-группы «Степ Аккорд». И также я еще и сольно выступаю, ну, в общем шоу, нашем большом шоу, это шоу-группа «Степ Аккорд».
So the main activities that we do, we play together with, in a duet Step Accord with Vladimir, who was here before him. He does step dance, and Vladimir is playing accordion and doing step dance also, but he's playing solo as well.
Okay. What's your favorite type of music?
Какая ваша любимая музыка?
Авторская своя. Ну, также, конечно, классические произведения для аккордеона, это различные танго, ну, вальсы, то есть все, что связано с аккордеонной
He
музыкой.
writes songs and he likes to play the music that he writes, and he also likes classical music.
Very good. Can you give us an example? Could you play something for us?
Можете сыграть что-то для нас?
Да, я сыграю такой негласный гимн города Самары. Это песня, которая во всем мире знают ее как песня про город Самару.
This is a short. This is a song about Samara city, classical old song, and they're very well known in Russia, and everybody knows words of it. So that he's gonna play a piece of it.
Okay. Go ahead. Very good.
Спасибо.
Very good. What now? That's a song about your city. How old is that song?
Сколько лет этой песни?
Ну, я могу сказать, что она старше меня. Вот, а сколько точно, конечно, не знаю, к сожалению.
I cannot say exactly how old it is, but it's older than me.
Okay, sounds great. Well, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it, and thank you
Спасибо.
for playing the song for us. Joining me now is T.R. Carr. He's program director of the MPA program at SIU Edwardsville. Welcome, T.R.
Welcome. Glad to be here.
Nice
Thank you.
to see you again. T.R., if the audience don't remember, was the mayor of Hazelwood for many, many years.
Did 9 years, 3 terms. It was an enjoyable experience.
So you got a good background in municipal government, that's for sure.
That's true.
Okay, would you kind of talk to us a little bit about the Sister City program with Samara?
Yes, I'm the treasurer of the St. Louis Samara Sister City Committee. I've been privileged to go to Samara for 3 times. We've been able to bring Russian physicians over to St. Louis. They've been able to take them to the SIU School of Dental Medicine, our School of Nursing, St. Louis University School of Medicine, to SSM DePaul, to Barnes Hospital, Anderson Hospital. So we've been building that kind of relationship, also meeting with municipal officials in the city of Samara. It's been a really growing kind of experience, and Samara's been just the visits we've had, the experiences we've had have been very, very positive.
The Sister City program really works out real well for cultural exchanges between, different countries. Every time you hear anything about them, they've been very good. Is there any memorable experience you can talk to us about that you had?
There are 2 that really stand out. Whenever we visited Samara, they've been very, very friendly. We really enjoy meeting with the Russian people, with the doctors, and with the municipal officials. But we were visiting Stalin's bunker during World War II. In the event that Moscow had fallen, Stalin would have moved to Samara, and that would have become the Russian capital. We were touring the bunker at 60 feet underground, and there was a Russian grandmother, Babushka, there. And she knew that we were from America, and she was watching us, and we were watching her as we did the tour. After it was over, she came up to us, met with our interpreter, and asked if we were from America. We said yes. And then she began to say that they did not want to go to war with America, that they really did. They want to be friends with America. We told her we want to be friends with Russia. We all hugged, and it was really a very heartwarming experience. Another experience is our last trip to Russia. We were meeting with some Russian physicians. And Samara was a closed city to the west until the Soviet Union dissolved in 1992. The Russian physician's father had been in the Russian army in World War II. And when the Russian and the American armies joined at the Alba River, they all exchanged gifts. And an American gave this doctor's father some chocolates and some cigarettes. And this doctor's father did not have anything to give back at that time. He always felt bad that he wanted to give something to an American. Well, they came home. Samara was a closed city. There were no Americans. So when we visited, we were exchanging our small gifts and tokens of appreciation. The doctor, who is also a member of the city council, the Duma, said, I want to give you something. And he gave me one of his father's old watches. He said, my father always wanted to give something to an American, and I'd like to give this watch to you. And it really shows the nature of the human side of the relationships that we get from the Sister City program.
That's quite a story. I mean, that's something that doesn't happen every day, and that's the one nice thing about it. You're suddenly, the Sister City program makes you friends. You have a friend in that particular city when you're a sister city, which is a lot different than you have in a lot of other cases.
Yeah, we build relationships that last a long time. And that's one of the great things about it, because we see that person-to-person relationship that you don't get otherwise. And so this has been a very rewarding experience for us. It's helped me to grow professionally and expanded my understanding as well.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, now welcome. And would you
Hello.
say your last name, Alla?
Yes, my last name is Vaska Bojnikova.
Thank you. I would have had a very difficult time with that. What do you do with the group?
Well, first of all, I'm director of keyboard studies at the University of Missouri St. Louis. And, I teach piano students, obviously. And this last October, I took 4 of my piano students to that trip to Samara, Russia. This was our first time in Samara with piano students.
They were well received, I'm sure.
They were very well received. It was a wonderful, wonderful trip. Trip that changed people for the lifetime. You know, students were excited. We get the most wonderful places, venues to perform. We had a concert at Samara Opera and Ballet Theater. We also visited Samara Humanitarian Social Academy, where we met so many wonderful musicians. They became friends. We also performed in another city, Taliati, which is very close to Samara, about an hour drive. So it was exciting overall, wonderful, great trip for us.
What type of music did you play?
Classical music, piano
Basically
classical.
classical.
And, well, because the theme was Russia, my students played Russian music mostly. And by the way, while in Samara, we had 2 different programs. So they performed concertos, originally written for piano and the orchestra. And because we didn't have orchestra, I pretended to be an orchestra, so I accompanied them. One student got a wonderful offer. He performed with Samara Russian folk instruments orchestra. So that was a piece actually written for piano and the orchestra. So he performed with, the orchestra. That was so exciting for the student. For all of us. So that was one of our programs. Another program was all solos, and it was mostly Russian music. So my American students fell in love very much with Russian music, and that happened yesterday at the Two Hill Performing Center. They all performed Russian music.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed that from what everybody's saying. It sounds like it's a very good time.
It was.
It was a wonderful,
And
wonderful show.
it certainly would have been worthwhile to see Charlie dancing.
Exactly.
That would have been worthwhile to see. What do you teach over there? What do you
Mostly
teach basic?
piano lessons.
Mostly
I'm
piano.
a piano teacher, individual lessons. We have once a week piano performance class, we call it. It's the class where everybody get together, they perform, students perform, and we criticize, we give feedback and things like that. But mostly it's lessons, just one-on-one lessons. And I have to tell you that I have a wonderful, wonderful young people, who are so serious and passionate about music, about piano performance, dedicated to their work. And it's just exciting for me as a teacher to see how they grow. And again, when we were in Russia, they became really Russian heroes, for Russian people. They performed really well on very, very high professional level. And the way they communicated with people, the way they acted, and just very, very professional. I'm really proud of them.
Sounds great. Well, thank you very much.
My
I
pleasure.
appreciate
Thank you
appreciate
for
the
having
interview.
us.
Thank you, Dmitry, for all the
Thank you. Thank you.
translations there. I'd have been really in trouble.
I don't know if I was right. No.
If you have any questions, we'll put a board up on the screen that you can follow up for additional information. If you have any questions for me, you can contact me at www.cityofblackjack.com or call me at area code 314-355-0400, extension 100. Thank you for watching. Good evening.